Fujian is China's newly built aircraft carrier with a displacement of above 80,000 tons, approaching that of a US supercarrier. It has 3 sets of electromagnetic catapults for launching fixed-wing aircraft and 2 aircraft elevators, along with 6 weapon elevators on the flight deck. At the moment, given the speed of the Fujian sea trials, PLA watchers consider the most likely range of dates for her commissioning to fall between late 2025 and around the middle of 2026. Granted, that's quite a wide spread. Once that happens, it will still be several years for the Fujian to reach full operating capability. This is the point at which the carrier has received all of her equipment and aircraft, and her crew has the ability to use these and maintain these. On the 18th of November 2024, the Fujian departed on her 5th sea trial. The last sea trial before that happened in the middle of September. The carrier departed the Jiangnan shipyard assisted by some tugboats as it cleared the Yangtze River Delta. On the flight deck, we can see what are presumably mock-ups of the J-35 stealth fighter and a KJ-600 airborne early warning and control system. Both of these aircraft will serve on the Fujian in the future. The weather around Shanghai at the time the Fujian set off was pretty bad, with the average wind speed at sea at around 45 km per hour, which is strong enough to break umbrellas, and any stronger even walking would be tough, assuming you are walking against the wind. This sort of weather should provide very high sea states with high waves and will provide the Fujian a great opportunity to sail in adverse conditions. There are some PLA watchers who expected the Fujian to potentially launch aircraft on this trial, but there's no evidence that this has actually happened. They may have come to that view because the official patch commemorating the carrier's 5th sea trial, which you can see here, depicts 2 aircraft waiting to be launched by the ship's catapults. You can see a J-15T fighter waiting at the starboard launch position, and you know it's a J-15T, not a J-35, because it has a conventional set of straight tail fins. A KJ-600 Airwick sits at the middle launch position. The previous 4 patches of Fujian sea trials are shown in this photo, with each number representing a respective voyage. The only other patch, aside from the 5th one showing aircraft being launched, is that of the 1st sea trial. That's the one without a number. All the other patches showed the ship without aircraft, so it's understandable that some people thought this time round it's different. Throughout the month of October, we continue to see the mock-ups of aircraft on the flight deck in various images. In this one image here, we can clearly see a JL-10J carrier-capable trainer. These will be used for catapult launch training and a fair number of J-15s. Again, these are probably mock-ups. Here we have a particularly detailed photo taken at a close distance. Maybe this one was leaked deliberately. You can see a JL-10J again towards the starboard side, a J-35 at the back, and a J-15 towards the bow. Weapons elevators are being worked on or being tested. These are the ones with the doors open behind the J-35. Additionally, we can see cables strewn across the flight deck. Are these the landing arrestor wires? I believe so. The catapult control station, or at least the raised roof of that facility, is visible directly behind the J-35. That's the primary point of control for the ship's catapults. It gives the operators a clear all-around view of the flight deck. In this other photo, we see a KJ-600 mock-up, and what appears to be faint lines for the landing arrestor wires. What's interesting to me, and this is only tangentially relevant to the Fujian, is this comparison of the width between the J-15 and the J-35 when they both have their wings folded. This photo here is from earlier in the year when the Liaoning sailed with mock-ups of the J-15 and J-35. The J-15 is on the left and the J-35 on the right. You can see that the folded wingspan of the J-35 is actually slightly wider than the folded wingspan of the J-15. In fact, this photo this time of the Fujian itself demonstrate that even more clearly. The J-15 has a visually shorter wingspan while folded, even though it's towards the front of the photo, with the J-35 behind it. This is again demonstrated by this very blurry photo, where you can nevertheless see both types of aircraft with their wings folded. While the J-15 is no doubt a much larger and heavier fighter than the J-35, it's the J-35 that takes up more width with its wings folded.